Hi everyone, welcome to Queen of the Household. Today we are talking all about newborn favorites. So my daughter is 4 months old. We are definitely past the newborn stage, and I was starting to think about what are the things that I absolutely had to have during the newborn stage, and I narrowed it down to 4 things. So the first item is a sleep sack. So I specifically used this Halo sleep sack. It's a fleece one that we were actually given at the hospital when she was born, and let me tell you, it's a miracle worker. It has these wide Velcro straps that really hug the baby and just keep them tightly secured, not like too tight, but just keep them secure so that they don't wriggle out of the sleep sack during the night. And it zips up also. So I just loved using this. My daughter loved having it on, and it just really kept her all swaddled and nice and cozy when she was sleeping. The second item that I had to have was routines. So with my firstborn, I didn't follow any sort of a routine, and he did not sleep well, which meant that I did not sleep well for the entire first year. And after he turned a year, that was kind of when I had started following specific routines in my own day-to-day life, and I saw just how important they were and how effective they were. And I started following routines with my son, and then he started sleeping better at night as well. And so I knew that I wanted to follow some sort of a routine with my baby. And there are so many choices out there. I've heard of all kinds of different doctors and moms who have just given all kinds of routines that you can follow. So you really have to figure out what works for you. I was recommended by a friend to follow the Baby Wise book. My friend had great success with it, and so I got a copy of the book and read it. And when I was reading through this book, I thought, there was like so many light bulb moments when I said, okay, that's what I did wrong with my son the first time around. And oh, well, that makes total sense. I should have done this. And so, it's more, this book I know has a little bit of controversy to it because I think some of the parents took it to extreme and they weren't flexible with their routines. So you really have to decide what your baby actually needs and use the routine for your baby, not put your baby onto the routine and be so strict about it that you just follow a routine. You really have to think about what does your baby need. So anyways, I could do a whole nother video on this book. I recommend it if you know how to be flexible and if you can kind of take certain things and follow them and then take other things and say, that's not going to work for me. If you want something that's very specific, this is what you need to do, then you might want to look for something else. So routines have just been so important because they've allowed me to feel confident in knowing what my daughter needs. Because we follow a routine every day, I know, what's coming next. Okay, she's getting tired, or okay, she probably needs burped, or, whatever it is that whatever comes next in our routine, I know that's what she's getting ready for. And so it helps me feel more confident, and then it also just has helped her be a very happy baby and a content baby, and she slept really well also. The third item is my 4-in-1 car seat cover. So when I first saw these, I thought that they were genius because it is not only a car seat cover, it is also a shopping cart cover and a high chair cover. So you don't have to buy, and a nursing cover. I forgot about that one. And it's a 360 nursing cover. So you know how sometimes it's just, the nursing covers are just like a blanket basically that you put over top of you. Well, you still have the backside showing when you're nursing, and so having something that goes all the way around you is just really nice. It's still kind of awkward because it just is having something draped over you, but I feel like I'm better covered when I'm out in public and I have to use it. So I love this cover because first of all, I didn't have to buy 4 separate things. I could just buy one, and that saves me both money and it saves space, because with babies you have to buy all these different things and it takes up so much space. But I just bought one, and it's super easy to just carry even in my purse if I need to do that. It was perfect for the newborn days because You know, the doctors recommend that you don't leave your house for 6 weeks, which is totally not possible because, you know, you have to go do things. You have to go grocery shopping and run errands and all that stuff. So I loved having this cover because it kind of told people, you know, my baby's not for show. I really don't want you to be looking. But when the cover is up, then people a lot of times will want to look, and they often want to touch as well. So, which, I mean, I understand. I totally get that. But I don't want their germs on my baby. And so this cover has been perfect to keep her covered and keep her safe from those germs. But then there's also this little peek hole at the top, and I don't have to lift the cover up. I can just peek in and see how she's doing. And I love that feature of this cover. Okay, and so the last thing is a nipple shield. So this is it is very personal, but I wanted to share it because it was something that I absolutely had to have during the newborn stage. Without sharing too many personal details, my daughter had a bad latch in the hospital, and after I finally caught it, there was already damage done, and I was in incredible pain. And by the third day, I was just streaming tears down my face as I would feed her, and I just thought, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. And it was just awful. I was afraid I was going to have to give up nursing my daughter. But I met with a lactation consultant, and she recommended that I use a shield. And so I'm not going to show it to you, but if you want, you can click a link below that I'll leave so you can just see what it's all about. But that shield, the first time I used it, it was like the heavens opened and light shone down, and it was just a miracle that had happened because I was able to feed my baby without pain. And I after I fed her, I was crying out of tears of happiness because I just felt like, okay, I can do this. And it took me about 2 weeks to heal because I was cracked and bleeding at that point. But it took me 2 weeks to heal using the shield, and then another 3 weeks to kind of wean her off of it because the baby does get used to using that shield. So, you know, I used it for about 5 weeks, but then we got off of it, and she nurses fine since then. So anyways, that was a must-have. I will leave links below to everything. If they are affiliate links, then it will be marked as such. And of course, I appreciate your support if you do end up purchasing any of those items. But let me know what is something that you thought was an absolute must-have during the newborn stage, and if any of them were the same as what I mentioned, I would love to hear as well. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.